Hello and welcome to Simply Technical. Today we're going to talk about Thunder stuff, so we brought Mekko in, and as your normal hosts, Evan and Keaton are here.
What's up?
And like I said, bringing Mekko back in.
Hello.
Last time you talked about OU, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
last time we did a kind of a college football predictions. I think it was me and Matt Peacock.
Yeah.
Very depressing. Now,
Now.
looking back.
Well, we'll get that to later in the podcast, second half or later in the pod. We'll talk about just the state of OU football and some predictions, and mainly the playoff and if OU can make it. But we'll start with Thunder because we know that's what you want to hear. We don't, you guys don't care about OU, so don't make that face. But first of all, okay, Thunder are what? They're
3-5.
3-5. 3/8. Yep. No, 3/5. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm an engineer. Close enough. Close enough. But so we're 3-5, and go ahead.
I gotta say, after we traded everybody, I think at this point, you guys. I mean, I may be the only one, but I thought at this point in the season we'd be like what, like 0-8. Yeah, I thought we'd be like super bad. I mean, the team isn't good. I think we pulled some numbers. They're like 25th in the league for scoring, and I think that they have like a good defense, terrible offense. So it's just not a super fun team to watch yet.
I think it's a fun team to watch.
I enjoy watching them.
Yeah.
I'm wrong.
I mean, I love winning. Don't get me wrong. I love winning, but
It sucks. But how refreshing is it to watch a Thunder team?
a young guard,
To what?
a young guard to excel.
No. To watch a Thunder team that whenever they lose, it doesn't make you want to rip your hair out. Like, and whenever they win, it's like
Yes, we won.
A loss is a win, and a win is a win. Like,
It's a
you
win-win
win no matter what.
It's a win-win.
Because if you lose, you're gonna get the good pick. But whenever we win, it's just exciting to watch the young guys win.
I guess I have kind of a different. And maybe I'm like coming from like a spoiled fan, but I'm like, if we lose, I guess the best thing that could happen is like we lose because we have like a better pick. Like when we win, that gets Golden State better odds than us. That gets like I don't even know who else. I mean, I guess plenty of other teams better odds than us. It's just kind of a bummer, I think, just not having a team like that can compete for anything. It just feels like this is kind of like I don't want to say a waste of a season because development's important, but it's just, I mean, after since 2011, every year except when both guys got hurt, we've like, hey, we could go at least like the conference finals, and now it's like, hey, we should shoot for the lottery instead. It's just kind of...
But they don't seem to be shooting for the lottery at all.
It's expert tanking. That's what they want you to think.
We're winning until we can trade players. I mean, I think
they're trying to win every game, and I mean, obviously you want to do that because you want to sell tickets. And right now, I know Oklahoma City's having a little bit of a hard time selling tickets.
Mm-hmm.
well, even though we're still technically sold out, they're still considering it sold out.
Yeah, well,
but
they consider it sold out. Because
but it's not. There's not enough
it's not
people.
full.
Yeah.
But I think they're trying to win because they want to shop Gallinari and Chris Paul.
They want to show that they still have
young guys. They want to show that they can still win and they can contribute to a team that's going to contend for the NBA championship. And I mean, they just want to give them some value, pretty much.
So I think we kind of all agree that Gallinari, he's probably gone. Who do you think is next most likely to be gone? Would you guys say Steven Adams or Chris Paul?
I'd say Schroder.
I'd say Schroder too.
I'd say it's either Schroder or Chris Paul. We have to trade a guard.
Yeah,
even though it's working,
Steven Adams is going to be gone.
I think he stays. Even though his stats are going to be inflated since the years past because he leads the league, and I say lead the league. He's doing amazing in rebounds. Like he's averaging almost 11 a game.
Yeah, he's not doing too bad. I mean, he is.
Besides his injury,
man, he's in his first game. Watching him against the Jazz was like, it was one of the most painful things I've ever watched. He was missing everything.
He probably was a
It
little
looked like
lost.
he just didn't even play or
Yeah.
practice over
Yeah.
the off season.
He just walked straight into an NBA game after whatever he does in New
Playing too
Zealand.
much Fortnite.
Probably killing animals in
Right,
New
Evan?
Zealand.
He was
'cause he's
farming. Yeah, he was
super
playing
manly.
Fortnite. He was streaming EXN Genomine TTV.
Shameless plug.
Or Twitch.tv. I said it wrong, but anyways.
I don't know. I kind of it's fun. I mean, it's almost just like the franchise just hit. It is like they hit the restart button. You know, everything from like besides Steven Adams, everything from like the old teams basically gone. You know, with KD long gone, Russ, you know, doing his thing down in Houston now. It just feels like it's kind of strange, like turning the game on and just like I used to recognize, like, oh yeah, that's all the players. Those are the bench guys. It's like I don't recognize as many of the players now.
Yeah.
And I think that I don't know. I think that's gonna probably take a couple years. You know, see who sticks around, who kind of shakes out after like the rebuild mode. But I mean, it is fun to watch SGA do his thing. You know, Darius Baisley. Even though he spent the year like as like an intern or something,
He
like
looks pretty good.
he looks good. It's just, you know, it's gonna I think the most frustrating thing about saying it's gonna take some time is if we had kept Russ and kept PG for this season, the West is wide open. You know, besides like LeBron, it just feels like if they had patience for like one more year, we could have done something.
I don't know. The Jazz are looking pretty
I
tough.
don't know. I think the Jazz. You think the Jazz look?
I think the Jazz
The Yaz.
once they figure out this Mike Conley thing, I think they're going to be amazing.
I don't know. I don't think they're going to be that much better than last year. I think right now the Lakers are obviously the
I mean, they're
stealing
the
the show.
Yeah, they're 7-1.
And then the Clippers still have Paul George to come back, and but I guess obviously if
I mean,
Paul
Utah's
George,
is. Oh, see, that's not conference. That's division.
we almost beat Utah in that first game.
I mean,
but
they're
Mike
6 and
Conley was
3,
like
so they're
1 for 11 or worse in that game. He was terrible.
if the ESPN app didn't suck. I mean, I guess the Jazz are 4th. They're tied for 3rd with the Clippers.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Clippers.
Denver
The Clippers
6 and
aren't
2.
even. I mean, obviously
They're not
hot-
full strength.
Yeah, well, not they're not full strength, but the hot topic is the load management crap that's going on down there.
That's
Lakers lost their first game, and now they're on a 7-game winning streak.
Yeah. Well, they lost to the Clippers, and then haven't even looked back because Caruso started playing. That's why.
I can't take that guy seriously. No one
Is it
with
the hair?
hair who looks 100%.
He looks like a professor, an English professor at their
Bro, he dunked. He
Yeah,
dunked
he
on was it James Johnson?
Yeah,
the
like
Heat.
last night.
That
Yeah.
dude's bad too.
James
I
Johnson
wouldn't mess with
backed
James
out of the
Johnson.
way. Yeah. Right.
Speaking of the Heat, you know, our thoughts and prayers are with Dion Waiters after his gummy incident.
Overdosed on gummies, right?
Yeah.
Yes, real gummy bears.
Yes.
Not,
I'm a
not,
gummy
spe-
bear.
not special gummy bears.
Oh.
Just straight up gummy bears.
Stay off the gummy
Weed.
bears. Oh no, that's a tough situation. But no, you want to talk about, like, I think to me the biggest surprise in the West right now, and you probably pull up their record, is the Phoenix Suns.
I know.
They're beating people. They look like a legitimate team. Like they went
They're
from
5
like,
and 3.
That's insane.
that's
They're
like,
6 in the West. So.
I bet that's like their best. I mean, I don't have the stats to back this up. That's probably their best start though in the last
Since
10 years.
Nash.
Yeah.
Since Stephen Nash and Stoudemire, yeah.
Mhm.
Probably since Charles Barkley was playing.
It's like Devin Booker is like a legitimate star, and I feel like he's just not getting talked about just because of how bad the Suns have been for a long time.
Well, when he was in high school, he was going against top-rate NBA like defenders in the offseason.
I bet he was scoring then too.
Yeah, he was against Andre Iguodala.
Was
I
he
mean,
getting
when he
double
was,
team though?
no, no double teams. That's what he was worried about.
Yeah.
I mean, Boston's doing well. They're 6 and 1. Toronto's 6 and 2, which is surprising, but they must not have played anybody.
No, Siakam's balling right now.
Is he?
People are like, oh, if he keeps playing like this, he could win Most Improved Player twice in a row. No one's ever done that.
I think Giannis probably should have done it last season when he won his MVP, but No, I think honestly, and this might be kind of a controversial take, but you look at the guys who came into the league last year, who really took it by storm, who really had just a good start, but have taken a huge leap this year. And I think one name really comes to mind of someone who was good last year, but was like developing like an all-star, superstar. I think that's Trey Young. Nobody else who was a rookie last year looks that good. Nobody looks better than Trey Young. No one in the state of Texas, no one in other states looks better. Trey Young is just.
Well, Trey Young's in Georgia, so.
No, he's talking about a certain player in Texas.
No, yeah.
No one. I mean, his defense looks better, but like his passing's better. His shooting, like he hasn't had any like slumps yet. So I think Trey Young is my guy for most improved. And maybe an all-star like a.
I mean, Trey Young's got to make the all-star team. If you voted right now, he has to be the starting point guard in the East, right? Who else would be over him?
Kyrie.
I
Kyrie
guess
scored
I didn't
almost
think about
40,
Kyrie.
40 points twice.
Yeah,
I don't know how much.
You're
I don't know
right.
what Trey Young is averaging.
I mean, he's averaging. If it wasn't for his injury at the very beginning of the game, he was averaging 38 before that.
But yeah, I think there's nothing to talk about with Luka. I mean, he's just in a good spot. He's just hitting some open jumpers. His team's being carried by Kristaps. He's not a factor in the West.
Yeah.
No, it's fun to see like a lot of these young guys kind of like stepping into a role. It seems like last couple years. You're kind of seeing like the next wave of like NBA stars.
Superstars. Yeah, it's like the first time I've watched the NBA. So I started watching whenever it was LeBron James and Dwayne Wade just coming in, and it was like you had LeBron, you had Dwayne Wade, you had Carmelo Anthony, and Kobe was still going off. Or I mean, obviously he was still pretty young, and I mean that was like the superstars of the time. Now it is completely for the first time it feels like it's a massive shift. Like, you've had superstars get thrown in the mix, like you've had a Kevin Durant, you've had a Russell Westbrook, but now it's like, now an entire class of people are taking the torch. I don't know, it just feels different. Like, have young players ever dominated like this?
Michael Jordan.
I mean, you said, entire class. I mean, the class of, 2003? That was LeBron, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh in that?
Chris Bosh is in it,
Yeah.
And Carmelo Anthony. So, besides then, I can't really think. Because, who else was in Kevin Durant's year?
Greg Oden.
Greg Oden. James Harden's year was him and Serge.
I think that year was also Steph Curry.
Steph Curry was part of that.
Steph Curry.
But Steph Curry did not dominate at the beginning, and neither did James Harden.
No.
It took years. Like, these guys are second years, third years that are just dominating.
Well, Luka even said it's easier to score in the NBA than it is in EuroLeague. So
why did he say that?
Because the court's bigger.
It's more space. And see, the one thing that holds me back on comparing just straight stats for these young guys, I guess, is the game so much faster. But it really does. I mean, it really does seem like Trey Young and Luka are the two best. I mean, they're top 15 players in the NBA. It feels like right now.
I mean, you just have so many old players.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all just old. I mean, most of the class of 2003 is gone besides
LeBron.
Well, what year was Chris Paul? 2005.
His first season was the season when the Hornets played.
Was that 2006?
I think that's 2006. Yeah, right after Katrina.
Yeah.
I think for me, one of the stranger things, because I really started watching when the Thunder came. So, I've been watching the NBA for
11 years?
Yeah, a decade now. And it's like seeing guys who are like all-stars not only start getting old, but like age out, like retire, like
Vince Carter.
Dwayne Wade. yeah, except Vince Carter. Like D. Wade, Dirk Nowitzki, Paul Pierce. I mean, I guess
the
Chris
first
Bosh
era that we watched is
Melo,
over.
Done.
Except for LeBron.
Jeremy Lin, done.
Jeremy Lin.
All these, bona fide Hall of Famers. Except for LeBron.
Hey, Jeremy Lin's still out there somewhere.
Yeah, with his spiky hair.
Contract.
I think he's signed in China.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, I was going to say he's in China, but I didn't want it to sound like... So he signed a contract. He's playing in China.
Pretty sure I saw him, wasn't he, really upset at the end of last season about something. He's like crying.
Yeah, he's with Toronto, but like he just didn't play at all.
They
He won a championship. I mean,
Yeah,
he won a ring.
Obviously, they
But
didn't need him.
they needed his enthusiasm.
No offense, Jeremy Lin. I hope you.
If
don't
you're
mind
watching, Jeremy, I apologize for my colleagues.
but you gotta change your haircut, man. It's rough.
you gotta
was
bring
in-
it back to like when he had like the cornrows.
He was in that controversy with Kenyon Martin.
Can you wait? What?
Kenyon Martin, it was like a race thing for him. Was like, you can't have cornrows because you're not black.
Oh, really?
And then Jeremy Lin said, I can do that if I want, just like you can put a Chinese tattoo on you. And he has like a Chinese tattoo
Oh,
on his
yeah.
arm. And
Got
it
him.
just like roasted him. And Kenyon Martin is never allowed to talk again. So
I would never mess with Kenyon Martin ever.
maybe in the big three
dude-
when I
That
could
dude
cross him
looks
up.
looks like a killer, man. He'd beat you up.
I'd tweet at him, make sure my location's turned off, but I'd really let him have it, for my OU burner account. Not with my name on it, of course, but yeah, he wouldn't hear the end of it from me.
But back to more important matters. I mean, SGA has done a lot better than I expected. Last year he averaged like 11 points or so,
Yeah.
but
He was in a less important role back then. Yeah, you hated like flashes where you could tell this guy is.
he will
he's
turn into
pretty
something.
legit.
I mean, obviously Presti saw it,
Yeah.
and there's been reports coming out about Paul Pierce, Doc Rivers, saying like we weren't going to give him up unless we got a superstar. Like it
Yeah.
was like, we know that this kid's going to be good, and unless we get a superstar back, we are not trading him. And obviously they got a superstar in
Yep.
Paul George.
I mean,
Rip.
he's
That
very
frustrates
exciting.
me.
Like watching him is so weird. He gets to the rim. I mean, it kind of reminds me of like.
You're talking about SGA, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
SGA. Like it reminds me of James Harden. Like it's not like a speed that getting to the rim, but it's like crafty.
He's
He's just so
elusive.
controlled.
Yeah.
Well, he's got those long arms.
Yeah.
About like, you can't really block him unless you are Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
Who was it that at the game against Orlando? I think it was no. Anyways, there was a game recently. It's either Orlando or shoot, I can't remember. Anyways, somebody got blocked like 3 or 4 times driving in the lane. I think it was Schroder or Schroder. Sorry, Schroder. Schroder was going in and he just got blocked 4 times in a row by. It must have been Vucevic or maybe Aminu. But anyways, it was just like. I was like, if that was SJ, he probably wouldn't have gotten blocked because of his length.
And he's just smart. Like I don't know. I mean, it'll take more time to see, like, to really. I guess we just need more time watching him. But as far as I can tell, he looks extremely under control.
So
If you could just get like a quicker release on his jump shot. It's kind of slow. Like I don't know if it.
I mean, if it works, it works, I guess. But
It works, but it won't work.
I mean, if
whenever-
Kevin Martin can shoot like he did and Sean Marion can shoot like they did, anybody can shoot.
Yeah, no, it's just. I mean,
Delonzo.
the
Yeah, or
difference
Alonzo.
is
Speaking of
speed.
somebody else who looks good this year,
Oh, I haven't even paid attention to Lonzo at all.
So I was looking this up. Dennis Schroder is 26 years old. Steven Adams is 25. We could keep both of them.
I don't.
I don't think that they have. I mean, we're paying a lot of money for them, and I don't think that together they both are worth like
that much
their.
money.
And
Schroeder-
honestly, I was gonna say Schroeder. Like, I think Chris Paul is good because he teaches a lot to the young guys, and then SGA is like next
Growing.
man up.
Mhm.
So like we keep him, which kind of leaves Schroeder as like the odd man out. Like if he has the ball in his hands, that impacts SGA's development. It seems like that. I mean, we should trade him. At least try to trade him. For something.
Give me a first round pick for him.
I don't know if any team can take on his contract.
Probably not.
I think
I don't know if
teams.
anybody wants
I
to
think.
take it on.
I think the thing people are worried about is next year's cap because of the China stuff.
Oh, speaking of,
Because they're
simply technical. Do you guys stand with Hong Kong or China?
Hong Kong.
We can't answer this.
I'll answer. I'll answer.
No.
Yeah. Do you have enough knowledge about?
We
that
have one
subject?
listener in China. We can't.
No, it's United Kingdom.
Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, Hong Kong.
I mean, they said they're projecting that the salary cap will go down by 10 to 12 million
What?
I thought it was percent.
No, 10 or 12 million.
I guess still like that's.
Okay. Think about the Rockets. Think about their roster. They have Clint Capella. They have James Harden. Of Russell Westbrook. Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon makes $10 million. You're losing basically a sixth man off of your team. Every team.
I think what happened in that situation was like, I don't think you'll be in the. I think you're in like luxury tax and like future situation. So like if you're like under the cap and then like it falls, I don't think you get penalized in that situation.
You just get.
I think if you sign somebody else and then at that point you'd be over the cap. That's when you get penalized. So I think honestly, like Houston's like a decent situation if the cap does fall and it forces a lot of like.
It was a strategy by Daryl Morey. Wanted the cap to fall so that his team could be better. He's a mastermind.
4D chess right now.
We're not even playing checkers. We're just throwing rocks at like bottles.
If he actually thought that, then he's a genius. But I don't think he did.
No, I definitely didn't. It was so shocking, like how it was received. Honestly,
China's nuts. The Chinese government is nuts.
Yeah, but I do feel
lock your house.
I do feel for the players that got a lot of scrutiny for not saying anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, when LeBron went off, he was stupid. He should just not have answered. But the guys who got a bunch of crap for not answering,
like the Rockets players.
Yes, like
Russell
obviously
and
they're
James
told,
Harden.
do not answer this question. Do not answer this
probably
question.
by the league.
Yes. So that drove me crazy a little bit because we have a big double standard when it comes to China. Every single other company is working over in China, and we don't care.
I think the thing is that's because like the NBA was always like, hey, we are a progressive league. Hey, we'll care about these human rights. Hey, we'll care. Like we'll move the All-Star game from Charlotte because of like this transgender bathroom law. Oh,
What?
hey, also China, you're suppressing these ethnic minorities and doing all this stuff. Well, just hey, please keep giving us money. We won't care.
Yeah.
And so I think that's when the people get called out. It's not that they're doing business; it's that they're trying to give off this image. And then they're just totally, not what they're pretending to be.
The images are always for business. They don't care. No matter what it is, no matter what. If you see, Nike coming out with the Colin Kaepernick stuff. Not
Stand
everyone
for something, even if like.
Do you really think they would do that if they thought that it would just destroy their market?
Oh
no! It's a business technique
Not a chance.
though.
Yeah, they're trying to get attention, but I don't know. There's no company standing up to China outside of I think Apple is pretty much the only one that doesn't work. No, Facebook doesn't work with China, or doesn't allow China to censor Facebook.
Yeah, they probably want to censor, and Facebook's like no.
And so they don't. It's banned over there.
Yeah, because China can't censor it.
You know how much more money Facebook could make if they were working in China right now?
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah, that Nike ad it's a believe in something even if it means sacrificing everything. And that's just like, I don't know, it just rings hollow when it comes to like what actually happens like in China.
Yeah.
Well, they exploit Chinese workers. So
yeah.
I say exploit. They get cheap labor from China. So
it is definitely exploitation. There's little kids working in those factories.
So I don't
know. China. I think business just needs to start looking for other.
Bomb China.
Just needs to start looking for other avenues. Jeez.
He's joking.
Yeah. I hope.
Just kidding. Cut that.
We can cut it. But
I don't care.
The thing is, okay, imagine now that your shoes are made in America or another country.
You have to pay more.
You have to pay a lot more. When I go to the store, I'm like, oh, those shoes are $100. Okay, I'll buy them. But if it was like even if it was $120, I'm like, yeah, that's kind of expensive.
Yeah, no,
so imagine every shoe being $150.
No, I know. That's why we haven't done anything. But the difference to me is how am I trying to word this?
We're really off topic.
Yeah,
I like it. It's fine.
Yeah. How did we get here? Probably my fault.
It's fine. If you,
I lost what I was gonna say. We were talking about prices.
Yeah, how all shoes are gonna cost $150.
So the whole pricing thing. we've sacrificed prices for the tariffs that we're running right now in China. That the steel industry is gone.
Aluminum, yeah.
Yeah, or aluminum has just
Shout out Pittsburgh.
crushed their pricing, and I mean it's kind of like that's the sacrifices you got to make. I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna go through and buy shoes because they're not from China. It's kind of a thing that individual companies got to figure out themselves, but it's frustrating whenever you try to, like you said, the NBA tries to say that they're so for something and then they obviously don't care. So just to me, companies just stay out of it all.
Honestly, if Facebook had came out and be like, hey, we've been working with the Chinese government to like develop our AI or whatever, but yeah, I'm not surprised. You're Facebook, you do sketchy stuff like that.
I mean, Google moved their AI headquarters to in China. That's bad. That's bad news. No one cared. So
That's because we were saying don't you do AI, but
like I was talking about, yeah, I think SGA is gonna be really good. I think he's gonna be special.
I mean,
eventually.
he's scoring 21.5 points. So
yeah, I just looked. He was like 19th in the league in scoring, which is, especially at the beginning of the year, is not bad. While people are averaging 40 points. So
those will die down.
yeah, no, everyone. The scoring always evens out. You have
Well,
a small sample size so far.
we didn't really. I just thought of Kevin Durant. I know that we don't like him, and
I
it's
think
just
of
a little.
him often.
It's a little off topic, but I think he's gonna be upset when he comes to Brooklyn when he starts to play.
Wait, would he be upset?
So when he was in Oklahoma City, he was the guy. Russell was kind of second to him.
Yeah.
He left. He goes to Golden State and says, "I want to be the guy. I'm not the guy anymore."
He's like the fourth or fifth guy. Yeah.
And he leaves, and he says publicly, "I didn't fit in. Really, I wasn't the guy." Like, okay, well, you had that in Oklahoma City. Well, now since he's hurt, he's gonna go to Brooklyn. Well, the guy's gonna be Kyrie because he's been balling out for the first year, and so now KD's gonna come in and feel like the odd man out again.
I mean, I
You
get
hate
that,
to see
but also,
Some love to see it.
I don't really think Kevin Durant. I mean, has anyone ever come back from an Achilles and been successful?
Kobe Bryant scored 60 points
Yeah.
In his last game.
when they gave him the ball
And
every possession.
yeah.
Yes.
That was
that
such
was
a fun game.
That was the most fun game I've ever watched. That didn't matter.
Oh yeah.
Did they lose or did they? No, they
They
won.
won.
They
They
beat.
won.
Kobe went clutch mode at the end of the
He had
game.
60 points.
That'll be Kevin Durant on his way out.
He like the Jazz like had to win that game I think to make the playoffs. And it's like so they were trying.
But Kobe was just scoring
Yeah,
like
Kobe
at
said,
will.
"Hey."
He was the oldest player I think to score over 60 points,
He said,
Oh,
"Don't
I'm sure
forget who
that'll
I am."
never get broken. Never.
unless Vince Carter goes out there and 360 dunks on everybody.
No, Vince Carter's not good enough.
I don't know if
what
he's
we're
ever-
talking about.
We were talking about Kevin Durant. If he can come back from an Achilles.
Oh yeah, I think didn't Wesley Matthews?
Yeah, but he's not the same
Yeah, I don't think anybody.
because he got injured in Portland.
The thing I think that helps Kevin Durant is like he doesn't need a ton of athleticism. Like
Because he's already tall, he doesn't have to jump.
he's a shoot. I was like, as long as like they can get him the ball, like
As long as he can cut,
yeah.
fine. Which
I
I
don't
don't know
know.
how much you use your Achilles. I'm not
I'm pretty
medical.
sure you use your Achilles a lot.
every time you move.
Every time
you
Is it
step.
Achilles
Planting.
or Achilles? Or is it
Achilles.
the same thing?
Achilles, but I guess I'm saying Achilles right
I
now.
just don't know if I
Doesn't
was
really
saying
matter.
it right.
I'm not gonna lie. You said both, and I still don't know.
Yeah,
It's
I think
Oh, I said I'm pretty sure it's Achilles,
Oh, Achilles.
but I say
Achilles.
Achilles because
Everybody
it just
says
flows.
Achilles. Yeah. Anyways, it's not a big deal, Mekko.
sorry. It was
Either or, yeah.
throwing me off.
I still think he's gonna be the odd man out when he comes back. And he's gonna say, "Man, I really miss Oklahoma City Thunder,"
Yeah.
and he's not gonna come back.
He's gonna come back and
I'm gonna boo him
He's
still.
gonna get booed when he's on the roster.
Yeah.
the ultimate
Can you imagine
revenge.
opening night? You just boo, just still.
I would just for the meme.
I would too.
Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna boo.
No, I'm starting I don't like Kevin Durant, but I'm starting to feel a little bit bad for him because obviously that dude does not have
Friends.
No,
Oh.
he doesn't have. I mean, probably not, but he doesn't have he's not right in the head in some way. It's pretty obvious that he's got some kind of issue.
Acceptance
know.
issue or something.
I don't know what
I don't feel bad. For
I
him.
don't know what is wrong with him, but everywhere he goes, I mean, it just seems like
Well, it's because he hurt Oklahoma City so bad, and everybody knows that.
I think he regrets
I'm
leaving.
sure he does.
very, very.
Well,
much
imagine
so.
our team. Imagine the Thunder when if he would have stayed.
We
Russell
would've-
Westbrook, Victor Oladipo. I mean, it was pre-All-Star Victor Oladipo, but still,
We would have had
Kevin Durant.
Who's that?
And
Demontis
Paul
Sabonis.
George. No, I'm just kidding.
Demontis Sabonis.
Who's that center? He was with the Celtics and now he's with the 76ers.
Kendrick Perkins.
Yes.
Al
No,
Horford.
Yeah, Horford. He was gonna come, and then
Jeremy. We still would have had Jeremy Grant.
Oh my gosh.
We would have been stacked if he would have stayed.
Billy Donovan.
I mean, they really ruined one of the best. What would have been a really good rivalry for the next 3 or 4 years between the Warriors and the Thunder.
I'm irritated again.
Yeah.
I'm officially.
Thanks
back.
for tuning in, guys.
Yeah. Ah! Just blew out everybody's earphones.
Rip your earbuds.
Sorry.
I mean, the Thunder would have been amazing, and we would have. I mean, we would have been paying a lot in the luxury tax, but
Yeah.
that's Clay Bennett's problem, not ours.
Yeah. He's a billionaire, so he can afford it.
I think billionaires should pay for their own stadiums.
I mean, like, future outlook for the Thunder, is this going to be built like the same way that the original Thunder team was built?
It can't be because
Yeah, I
we've
think
already
it's
traded for
impossible.
SGA.
Huh?
I think we can't because we've already traded for SGA being one of our best players.
I mean,
don't
we're never
understand.
gonna get like a Kevin Durant time. I mean, we might get like some good
To get
shooters.
three Hall of Famers
Well, I mean, it
and
doesn't
3
matter.
drafts.
I'm not saying they're going to go draft 3 Hall of Famers, but SGA is like one piece. I'm saying, are we going to put together the pieces with our 15 draft picks over the next 8 years?
Whether we trade for another All-Star?
Yeah, trade
or
for
not.
another young
Yeah,
guy.
I mean, it wouldn't be the same because those guys we drafted, SGA we've already traded for,
Yeah.
so it's
But
going to be
I'm
slightly
saying
different.
The formula is
It's similar, yeah.
yeah. 3 superstar young guys that develop.
I think I think Adam's going to take a pay cut if we're going to do that, though.
I mean, I heard that he doesn't even like spend his money.
He spends it on food
He just probably.
when he buys 4 meals.
Yeah.
On Fortnite skins.
Does he buy Fortnite skins?
I mean, he is millions of dollars. I feel like he probably.
He probably has at least one.
No, he's a no skin, just like me.
But like, I want the Thunder to go out there and trade. How many picks?
We have 15.
How many picks? First round picks and Danilo Gallinari is it gonna? With Danilo Gallinari and some picks, how many would it take for the Nuggets to trade us Michael Porter Jr.?
Danilo Gallinari and a first-round pick, probably.
That's it. Why don't we do
I'd
that?
say maybe 2. Which would be kind of interesting. You know, Gallinari used to be in the Nuggets, like
Yeah.
back like the mellow Nuggets. You know, for him to come back and lead them to victory again.
But I don't think they need him anyways. Not Gallinari. I'm saying Porter.
Yeah, no, the
But even-
Nuggets aren't even using him right now. He's hardly playing.
playing garbage
when he
minutes.
does play. When
Yeah.
he does play, he's playing really well. So why
We
don't
gave them Jeremy Grant. They need to be considerate and give us something back.
yeah, we literally gave Jeremy Grant.
We gave him away. Yeah.
Yeah, that was garbage.
Well, that
Yeah,
was to get
stupid play.
leverage in the.
should have been at least one first round pick.
We did get a first-round pick. I thought.
We got a second round pick.
Oh.
I thought.
We'll have to look, but that was to get leverage in the Heat trade.
No, and it never happened.
That never happened. Yeah.
But I mean,
Because the Heat were like, well, we're gonna have to give you all these contracts back,
yeah,
and they're like, you're still gonna be in the luxury tax if we give you this back. And Sam Presti said, oh, okay, and then traded Jeremy Grant and said, no, we're not.
yeah.
So, I mean, they were still in the luxury tax, but it was like by a couple $100,000.
Yeah.
But
But
I mean, the thing is, the Nuggets don't need Gallinari either.
do they?
They don't need him.
Wait, why don't?
They
Why
have
does
Paul
he so?
Millsap. He plays the 4.
Well, what about a backup 4 that can hit threes?
I mean,
A stretch 4.
Stretch 4. The thing is,
I think
honestly-
Gallinari is perfect in 16. Looking at his athleticism and the way he moves, he's a good 6th man on a championship team.
Yeah, he's gonna go.
He could even start, but
He's trade bait to a championship team, and I think the Nuggets should be up there competing for a championship. And if they want to get over the hump, then we'll trade him some picks.
they need some playoff experience, and he has it. I mean, they have some from last year, but I don't know if they can beat the Lakers.
No, but are they gonna try or are they not gonna try?
They
Just
should
gonna
try.
sit on
They
their
should very
hands.
much. They should very much acquire as many offensive weapons as they can.
Yeah,
They're sound defensively. They're good, like team like teamwork team, or I don't know what to say.
A little bit like the Spurs.
I mean,
I said teamwork team. That doesn't make any sense.
If LeBron tweaks himself, because they have, they can lock down, they can defend Anthony Davis with
Jokic.
Jokic. I can never.
Nikola Jokic.
I mean, he's the real deal. And so
he hasn't been playing all that well recently, or I say well.
He hit a game winner last night, so that just defeated your argument.
He's been making a lot of dumb mistakes. Like it just seemed like lazy plays, but.
Well, he looks out of shape, but that's beside the point.
He's never looked in shape.
Yeah, you're right.
Have you ever heard an interview with him?
No.
He talked about like when he was back home and how he was like a little fat kid, like and when he was younger, and then he just had a huge growth spurt, and now he's the big fat kid.
Now it's like
same, but
just distributed.
Go look up like what his dad looks like. Go Google his dad. If you're listening or like watching this, his dad is also like a 7'2", like 300-pound. He's a police officer back in whatever city they came from. Yeah. He's just massive, and apparently he's like the youngest of three. Like he has two older brothers who are also like the same size. Like they're just a big family.
I don't know if I'd want a police officer like that, but yeah,
that'd be
intimidating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'd listen to him.
I mean the Thunder. I want them to lose, but they continue to win. But we need. I don't see us getting out of these 15 picks. I don't see us getting that many good players. I mean, we'll get good players. Don't get me wrong, but I don't see them being all stars. Like out of the 15 picks, because most of them are going to be late first round.
No, I don't think so. I think
the Clippers ones are the only ones that could be good.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's half of them, but
yeah, because they're all later.
Yeah, they're all in the future, but.
By then, Paul George will be you.
We should just trade for Tyler Hero. That dude's balling out.
I wish. We really missed out.
I was talking to Matt, who was on the podcast, other podcasts, and there was a Thunder account always tweeting about Tyler Hero, and I didn't know who he was. Yeah. So I looked him up, and I was like, oh, this kid's pretty good. Like, he's a good 3-and-D player.
Yeah.
And Matt was like, oh, I don't think he's going to turn out all that well. And he exceeded all my expectations and is scoring, 25 points a game.
Yeah.
And Matt's like, hey, I just want to let you know I was wrong about him. Just like that Kevin Love Steven Adams trade.
Yeah, that really sucks that didn't work out. But
well, imagine if we traded Russell Westbrook for Tyler Hero.
We weren't going to do that to Westbrook. It was all fake, smoke and mirrors.
Do you think to get more out of Houston?
Yes, and we got nothing out of him because
we still got nothing.
You know why? Because I think Russell Westbrook told him, but
he's like, "Hey, James."
Yeah, and then the word got out, and I'm like, "Oh, shoot!" But
he screwed us. I hate him.
No, I love Russell Westbrook, man, but
I wish you'd get a different.
I really
haircut.
think that Russell Westbrook is the reason the team I think he wanted to leave, and I think Paul George took the hit. Honestly.
Well, I mean, Royce Young was tweeting after the trades that there was some grumblings last year that Russell wanted out.
Well, they apparently had made or someone had said that they might have made an agreement that if we can't put a championship team around you, when Russell Westbrook signed the contract, if we can't put a championship team around you by X, then we will trade you to the team of your choice. And I guess X came up.
I'm sure they tried to convince him one more year.
Yeah.
But, I mean, with how bad the West is now, I think we could win, or we could have won. But
I don't think we would have beat the Lakers without an injury. But look at the Raptors.
We could have just tabletopped Anthony Davis.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have Ferguson go in behind his knees, and somebody will push him over, and he'll fall over and get injured.
Speaking of Ferguson, he's terrible this year.
He had a kid.
Really?
He had a kid at the end of last season.
All right.
Took Dennis Schroeder's advice.
He must be a good dad then,
because he sucks. He only takes like 2 shots a game.
Because he's not aggressive. He's playing like
he can't dribble.
Puppy dog.
He can't dribble and he can't shoot. So,
I mean,
why is he starting for us? I don't know.
Yeah, put Diallo in there.
Diallo is a lot better.
Yeah.
He's kind of out of control, but
Diallo is our new Westbrook.
I mean, I think that I don't know why he died or not died, but got why he died on the bench last year is what I was gonna say. Why he got stuck on the bench last season after he won the NBA dunk contest.
You know why? Because he got hurt. He hurt his elbow doing that dunk. Legitimately, they covered it up. Yeah.
Oh well, okay. Maybe that's why they don't play him as much. But
Idiot.
Because I was mad about it too, and then then he had surgery, and I saw an article that wasn't very blown up about how he had hurt himself during that.
Because nobody cared.
Yeah.
Nobody was like, "Oh, it's Diallo." No one cares. But he's a lot better this year.
Yeah.
He fixed a lot of his shooting motion. He was a horrible shooter last year. He pump faked and nobody ever jumped on the 3-point line. So, but he was just horrible at shooting. He fixed a lot of his mechanics, and he's probably a better shooter than Ferguson. Honestly,
yeah. I mean, does Ferguson play anything except for defense better than him right now? And is Ferguson even a better defender?
I'm sure he's a better defender.
I think he's the worst defender. I'm not sure actually.
Does his?
I think literally Ferguson is the new Roberson.
That's a little stretch.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
I mean, that's who he was we got him in mind
that's
to become.
What we wanted, and then Roberson, pretty much.
Roberson took the place of.
Besides Roberson never playing another NBA game again.
What's the deal with that?
Because he's apparently he's a super nice guy. When
they
I
wanted him to
Thunder
coach, I
last
think.
Season, everybody, the people who worked for the team said he was one of the nicest, friendliest players.
But he didn't tip that guy after he got.
He did tip him. He just didn't tip him as what he wanted.
So I think everybody,
you're an NBA player. You need to tip more than $100.
That was the dumbest thing ever.
That guy wanted so much clout.
All he did was bring him a bottle. That's what he said.
It was a $120 bottle of wine.
Yeah.
I think was what it was, and he tipped him $20.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, "You should have tipped me more."
Stupid.
I mean, that's not even 20% though in that guy's defense.
But
he
walked
brought a bottle to him. That's
he
not
bought him a bottle
service.
and unplugged
I'm glad
it.
he's injured now. Sounds like a bad person.
It's like whenever I go to freaking at restaurants all the time now. You're not even getting served, and they turn the thing over, and they're like, "How much do you want to tip?" I don't want to tip you if you're not serving me. It's the most frustrating thing.
You're talking about a buffet?
No, every non-service restaurant now is offering the flip.
Yeah, because they don't want to pay their workers minimum wage, so they get tips so they can.
Also, what's the deal with you Panda Express and hey, you want to round up and for
charity?
The Children's
I
Hospital?
probably donated over $10,000 to the Children's Hospital.
It's
rounding up to Panda Express.
It's if you do it cool, but if you don't you such
How much did you just say? I'm gonna do the math. How much did you just say?
$10,000.
$10,000.
I round up 86 cents every time for.
Oops, I did 56.
We're doing some math here. Bear with us.
He's an engineer.
Divided
How much
by
you say? 86.
Yeah.
86.
Is that 11,000 times?
I've been there 11,000 times.
Divide that by 365. Let's see how many.
How often do I go?
31 years. 31.85 years.
Very believable.
If you went every day and did that.
Go ahead and just take that off on your taxes, Keaton, and let us know.
You would have a heart attack. You would be dead from sodium.
No way. When I go to Panda Express, I get the veggies as my side.
Wow, you're such a good person.
Yep.
Dang, I look foolish.
What were we talking about before that? Oh, tipping.
Panda Express. Oh.
Yeah,
Roberson, not tipping.
We were talking about Roberson never playing another NBA
So do
game.
y'all get this off track on
No,
others?
not really.
No.
No, we do, but not this off track.
Okay, my bad.
Usually it's all relevant,
Okay.
but I mean it's fine. But Roberson will never play another game. I think Ferguson is just like him, except he can shoot slightly better.
Yeah.
But he never shoots anyways. So.
Because he's scared.
But he can't defend as well. So he's you're worse defensively, but you're slightly worse defensively, slightly better offensively.
I'd still have Roberson. I think it's better to have someone who can star in one, even if he's gonna suck in the other.
Oh, he's horrible at
Obviously,
offense.
he's not gonna come back. It's been 2 years.
I've heard that injury is really easy.
74 years.
Heard it's really easy to re-enter that.
Really?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think that's what they're worried about, but at the same time, I think they're just going to make him a coach.
I don't know.
Coach Robe.
Make him our defensive
specialist.
Our
Defensive coordinator.
Jinx.
Can't talk anymore. Sorry.
First basketball team to have a defensive coordinator.
Fire Mark Stoops. Hire Roberson.
Could have been worse. But Ferguson's horrible.
On that note, you want to talk a little bit about the
Yeah, we can
OU
talk about
now
OU.
that-
Yeah. So we had a OU pod. Our last episode was an OU podcast, and it took a while to upload. We had some technical difficulties, but
Do you want to go ahead and say we're recording, 2 p.m.? The game is in, 4 hours, 5 hours?
is OU?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's tonight against Iowa State, so that's preface. We don't know how OU's going to win by 22 points tonight. We don't know how we're going to almost shut out Iowa State. We don't know that this is going to happen, but we have a feeling.
So is OU going to make the playoff?
I give him a 3% chance.
They'll have a Cy Bowl game if they don't make it. But
Yes.
as long as they win out.
Let
Let's
me
look at the
pull up
rank-
the
let's look at the
BCS so I say everything, so I say it correct.
First off,
No,
Ohio
Let's
State.
say
If, they
BCS,
get,
college football playoffs.
if Ohio State gets all their wins forfeited because of their whole stupid scandal, that's not really a scandal.
First of all, shame on Ohio State, who's supposed to be this team, who's supposed to represent integrity. Teach their players to do the right thing. Instead, they have players taking money from boosters, just rubbing. The NCAA stands for amateurism, and this guy's clearly being paid, not an amateur. I think Ohio State lose all their wins this year, probably lose all their wins from last year. I think the team should be punished sooner rather than later.
Are you biased?
This season specifically.
They should be punished
I-
right now.
I support the integrity of the game. That's what I would say.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, let me just get.
Okay, so what happened? They were paying some of their players. I'm
Oh,
not up on this.
The I don't remember his
He's-
name. The superstar.
Chase Young?
The end.
I think it's Chase Young.
Chase Young. He received a loan from
A very small
from
loan.
a family
$1
friend.
million.
From a family friend the summer before his freshman year, and they found out about.
Well, that was
obviously.
there was another
boosters.
thing with a basketball player.
Yeah, same day. Both of them came out on the same day.
Mm-hmm.
What, did he play for not OU?
Memphis. He
Okay,
played for Memphis.
that's what I thought. I thought it was Memphis and
Not Kentucky. Oh,
Nope, he played for Memphis.
Jameis Wiseman, right? Was the NBA player or the college player for basketball?
Okay, sorry, but I got this pulled up. So Ohio State's number 1. This is the college football playoff rankings, week 11, the first week they came out. Ohio State, LSU, Bama, Penn State, Clemson, Georgia, Oregon, Utah, Oklahoma. I think the fact that OU's behind 2 trash Pac-12 teams, just the worst league in general. That withstanding, I think that's going to really hurt OU's chances. Unless
who did they lose to? Utah and Oregon.
Oregon lost to Auburn, first game of the season.
Okay, that's a better loss than us.
Utah lost to
Utah.
USC, unranked USC back in September.
USC's horrible, aren't they?
They're not ranked. They're
Kansas
really
State's
bad.
ranked.
Yeah, we lost to the
Wonderful.
number 16
a
team.
great team.
A very strong program. Very respectable. But, yeah, I think what's going to happen, I think Ohio State wins out no matter
Baylor is losing to TCU right
what.
now,
Are you kidding me? What's the score?
9-6.
Told you.
How much
Baylor-
time left?
Baylor's
40
fake.
seconds left in the fourth quarter.
Are you messing with me?
Gosh.
It's loading.
Are you messing with me?
No, it was just up here.
Okay, wait. No, but they have the ball at TCU's 34-yard line. They could kick a field goal here. They could still score.
4th and
I'm
19.
telling you.
They're
I'm telling you.
4th and 19. They're kicking a
We
field
can
goal
ar-
for
we
sure.
can,
Then
we can argue it again. I think
I
Baylor needs to lose 2 games so that K-State goes to the Big 12 championship, and then we kill them in the Big 12 championship.
Miko's gonna pull it up on his phone.
think if Baylor loses this game, no matter what, we just won't have enough wins against decent teams to counteract our,
No,
our,
it's
our
true. I
bad
don't want
loss.
him to lose this game. I want him to lose against us next week as an undefeated team, and then to Texas the next week after that, so that Kansas State can go to the Big 12 championship.
Oh man.
TCU has a 94.1% chance to win.
Support your local streamers, please. Please, let people stream games. This may pull up. This may not pull up.
I got it. They kicked a field goal.
Did they tie?
Yeah.
Woo! Let's go. Okay. We're not dead yet.
51-yard field goal.
51-yard field goal.
That's pretty awesome.
Wow.
By John Mayer. No, not
John-
Mayer, sorry. Mayers.
By the mayor of Waco. Okay. I told my dad, if you listen to this, you gotta comment, you gotta back me up here somehow. I said this is totally a game Baylor would lose, and they're doing their best.
They've won every other game by only a couple points.
9 total points. Sorry.
Not total, 9-9, 18 total points.
Nine total points for
What rank is
Baylor.
Baylor, and what rank is
TCU's not ranked.
K-State? K-State is a... almost-
Baylor's ranked 12th.
I mean,
And
they're
then
only
K-State
four-
16.
They're only 4 apart. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was trying to say earlier. If they're only 4 apart, we might as well avenge our one loss and just destroy them.
Ohio State's beating Maryland 59-7.
That's our best shot.
Okay, but let's do we want to just kind of give our very knowledgeable, very experienced prediction or guess? No,
Try to be
prediction
unbiased.
of what's
If
going to happen.
OU
I was going to say with LSU, Alabama this
Oh.
evening. I think that's first step.
Okay. Oh shoot, I don't know.
LSU.
know.
I haven't
LSU
watched it.
by 14.
I think LSU wins.
Will they play each other again in the SEC championship?
No, they're in the same division.
Okay. Shoot. So whenever one of them beats the other one, they're both gonna make the freaking playoff, aren't they?
There's honestly a good chance, but if Penn State, I gotta pull this.
So
back
one
up.
of them has to destroy the other one.
Okay, so Penn State's down 5 with 4 minutes to go. If Penn State loses, what we need to happen, Penn State needs to lose, and then hopefully beat Ohio State in the playoffs.
You know what?
As many one-loss teams as possible, because that's when a conference championship I think really helps. Yeah.
Well, okay. So this is what I think. I think what you just said, and I think Alabama needs to go undefeated, because I think our only shot at getting in the playoff is for
Be a 5.
for the rigged selection squad to say, "Oh my gosh, we need Jalen Hurts versus Alabama." Hop OU up a couple places.
I mean, yeah, if we win tonight,
And then we spank them.
Yes.
Good.
All right.
No, I don't think OU has. Well, it's not up to OU anymore. If we had gone undefeated this season, won a conference championship, we would have been in there. It's not up to us anymore, and I think there's too great of a hill to climb. I think what's gonna happen
Let me see that.
is we're gonna be like 5th, we're gonna be 6th, we're gonna be one of those first 2 teams out, and it's gonna suck, and we're gonna end up playing a Penn State or a Georgia in some bowl that just really just doesn't matter because it's not the playoffs.
Or if I mean, if we're not in the playoff. So I think really, like what I said earlier, the only way we get in is if some dominoes fall in our favor and Alabama beats LSU today, and Alabama's in the playoff, and then they hop us. But then
Roll Tide.
But then if we're not in the playoffs, I would love for LSU to win today so we can have an Alabama OU bowl game. I think that would be so fun.
Yeah. If we'd met Alabama for a rematch in the playoffs or in the national championship, it would have been amazing.
I don't know. It looks like an impossible hill to climb.
Mm-hmm.
So the more realistic one might be Alabama losing today and us playing them in a bowl game. But
I just wanted OU to lose to West Virginia, so that Austin Kendall could have triumphed.
that guy sucks.
He's so bad.
I saw one of his touchdown passes, and it didn't spiral a bit.
He said, no,
He knuckleballed it.
there's no way. I mean, you always know that coaches are kind of like, they don't want to give someone too much confidence or like say, oh yeah, this guy has the job locked down over the summertime because they want to induce competition. There's no way Austin Kendall was ever close to Kyler Murray
Yeah.
last season.
Sorry, I had to yawn.
No, I thought you were laughing at that.
I
No,
know
there's-
it's funny.
There's no way. I mean, you.
Well, as a coach, do you just go up to Austin
Mm.
Kendall and say, "Hey, sorry, you suck. We're gonna
You're gonna
trade
make
you,
a
but-
really, really good father one day.
We should have just traded Austin Kendall and a first round pick
for
for
a defense.
yeah for a coach, just like Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd got traded as a coach.
What time is the LSU game? Is it in like an hour?
It's at 3:30. So after this, I'll be going to the gym. Not to brag, but I'll be watching this game, pump some iron. No big deal. And I think it's gonna be a pretty good atmosphere, pretty good environment.
To rage, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, sorry, the game environment. I think it's gonna be a pretty good game environment at Tuscaloosa. I think it's gonna be loud. It's gonna be intense.
Oh, it's at Bama.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh. Ugh.
All right, do we want to wrap it up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry for this hodgepodge of of sports.
I like to go down the rabbit hole, so thanks for entertaining. Like I said, follow me, Twitter at Mekko Factor, Instagram at Mekko Factor. If you're looking for a website that can host secure payments and credit card processing, email me kenneth.factor@e-hps.com.
Make sure you're writing that down.
Yeah, they can go back and listen. But yeah,
And then you
thanks for
can-
having me on, guys. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Definitely.
Cash app him at $Mekko Factor.
Please.
All right.
All right, well, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This has been Simply Technical.
Woo.